No fancy intro in this video. I'm just really excited to talk about Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geissinger. My name is James, and this is Rotten Reads. "5 years ago, Nat's fiancé disappeared without a trace the day before their wedding. For 5 years she waited, avoided relationships in hope that one day David would show back up on her doorstep. That is until Cage, a mysterious, grumpy hottie, buys the house next door. What was supposed to be just another hit for Cage turns into a steamy love affair that puts them both in danger." So when I bought this book, I had no clue what it was about. I picked it up because it had J.T. Geisinger's name on it. And I knew she wrote Pen Pal, and it got a lot of great reviews, which I still haven't read, but it is on my TBR. I didn't even bother reading the synopsis on the back of the book. I just assumed it was a dark romance, but instead it turned out to be my first Mafia romance, and I'm not mad about that at all. At least I assume it's considered Mafia romance. I mean, it's a romance, and the MMC is in the Mafia. It's very different from the dark romances I've been reading. Cage was a really nice guy for being a mafioso, even though he was kind of grumpy at the start. I kind of liked the way Cage's character was written. While I don't think he was overly complex, he still experienced some growth over the course of the book. That could also be from the fact that we don't get a lot of chapters from his point of view. Nat, on the other hand, was a great character, and I loved seeing her go from someone who was emotionally unavailable to someone who is open to falling in love again. With that said, I don't think she turned completely soft. Nat still had a sassy side, and she didn't put up with bullshit. I love the way Geissinger writes her characters and her writing style overall. She has a way of storytelling in such a way that kept me engaged. I didn't feel like any part of the story lulled too much or went too fast. The pacing was pretty spot on and very entertaining. Normally, I feel like I need more action or suspense in order to stick with the romance novel, but Ruthless Creatures proved me wrong. Sure, there were some elements of suspense, but the book is first and foremost a romance story. And I'm also hard-pressed to put this in the dark romance category because even though our MMC is morally light gray, the story itself isn't really that dark. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. I plan on reading the rest of the series and more of J.T. Geisinger's work as well. It's available on Kindle Unlimited, so you can at least give it a shot. And if you don't like it, you don't really lose anything. I read this and both listened to the audiobook, and I gotta say the audiobook was really well done. It is duet narration, so if you prefer duet narrated books, definitely check out the one for Ruthless Creatures. Now it's available on Hoopla in my area, so you have to check your Hoopla because those are tied to the library. But definitely give that a listen and give it a read as well. So there you go. There's Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geissinger. Until next time, my name is James, and you've been watching Rotten Reads. See you next time.